you so freaking bad. Wrestle me.
Welcome, everybody, to Juice Pro Wrestling, episode 156. Is Hulkamania for life? Is he? Is he? I don't know. We're about to discuss it. With me and Sretton this week is our buddy from the Great White North, the Master Blaster, CEO of WrestlingWithWrestling.com, Mr. Andre Corbeil. Andre Corbeil, how's it going, brother?
Great.
Yeah, I know you're fucking jacked. You know, in the fucking, before we started recording, you were telling us how much you loved Hulk Hogan. And that's why I'm so glad to have you on this episode, because we're going to be doing a huge fluff piece about my brother. You dig?
I dig, brother.
We found out how much you love him. We should have had JR on here too. I think he's just as big of a fan of Hogan as you are.
Yeah. What up, JR? I know you're going to watch this.
Brother right there, brother Shred. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, right? JR's going to be watching this. He's going to be motherfucking us the whole time. So. Yeah. All right, JR, this bubbly's for you.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's kick it off. I've been wanting to do this episode for a long time. For all you people out there that watch and listen to us on the Reg, we tend to go off sometimes and do focus episodes on some of our favorite wrestlers. This has been one that's been in the works for a while. I didn't really know how to do it. I'm kind of glad that we have Andre on here, who's actually not a big fan, because as you can see, I mean, I got Hollywood and I got the Immortal One fucking keeping me jacked, brother. And I've been a huge fan forever. But in recent years, it's, you know, perception has changed. You learn more about the man himself. And once upon a time, the guy who wanted, you know, led me to train, say my prayers, and take my vitamins. What happened? So we're going to explore that today. Let's start it off, though, with the man, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, the biggest attraction in professional wrestling history. You can't take that away from the man. Now, here's my thing, though. And what we're going to explore in this episode is, and that's why I called it, is Hulkamania for life, because with some of the stuff that he has done and been accused of in recent, I'd say the past decade, has he tarnished his image? And if so, does he still remain that iconic personality from our youth and beyond? So let's just fucking dive on into it. This is a man who was responsible for launching the World Wrestling Federation back in the day. Him and Vincent Kennedy McMahon with WrestleMania, body slamming Andre the Giant, which I still feel should be on the American dollar bill, as you know, super iconic moments. And for, I don't know what, the first 9 WrestleManias, first 8 or 9, was like the main attraction for this. And this was a guy that took wrestling to new heights. He's the only wrestler to ever appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated, which I have. He was the man that started getting involved with movies. Sylvester Stallone brought him in Rocky III as Thunderlips, the ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball, brother.
Video games.
We're talking everything that wrestling wasn't. Him and Vince took wrestling from the dingy, like, Southern territories and brought it up to the mainstream, to what essentially what we know nowadays is, you know, the action.
I wish they wouldn't have, because that was the wrestling I preferred.
Yeah, there you go. But video games, toys, movies, just the marketing became insane, because he was a character, like I said earlier, in the 80s, with the whole training, you know, saying your prayers, taking your vitamins, the whole America, you know, we're going to fight the good fight. That's a Canadian band. Did you get that one? All that shit, man. When I was a kid, and Andre, I'm curious to know your thoughts, because I know Sren, like when we were kids, like we were fucking eating this shit up. You know, the cartoons, the wrestling buddies, the huge moments. You know, I mean, you could pretty much go down the list of, you know, Hogan versus Andre, Hogan versus Warrior, and even in his later years, like Hogan versus The Rock. What was your perception of the man, like in the 80s, when this shit was fucking booming and on fire?
Larger than life. If I had to choose one word, it would be catalyst, because he was a catalyst in bringing wrestling into a larger level, much like Wayne Gretzky brought the NHL to a higher level in the States. If he wouldn't have went to the Los Angeles Kings, hockey wouldn't have spread as much as it indeed did. And if Hulk Hogan wouldn't have left Vern Gagne's I almost called it National Wrestling Alliance,
the AWA.
American Wrestling Association, we never would have been where we are at.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Totally true. And like I said, that's something you can't take away from the man. Like, he is, to me, almost like the Michael Jordan or the Babe Ruth of professional wrestling. And when you think about how much he has done, I mean, you can go back to your, like you said, Vern Gagne's and all the Gorgeous Georges and all the guys that came way before Hogan's time. They never put asses in seats. They never put 93,000 in the fucking Silverdome, brother. So it's one of those things where you got to look at, like, man, dude, what this guy is, he's going to go down in history as, like, and we're not going to say the best wrestler. We all know the shtick. He was more like a superhero. The modern day version, of course, being John Cena, who was just a modern day ripoff of Hulk Hogan. He wasn't well known for his wrestling techniques, but his charisma and all that fucking shtick that came with it, the posing, the ripping of the shirt, albeit he's taking things from superstar Billy Graham.
Thank you.
I knew where you're going with that. It was the perfect package back then, man. And that's some of, like, my most cherished moments as a kid was sitting there and just watching this shit. And of course, when you're super little like that, you're not really aware of what professional wrestling is. So it's just, dude, it's mind blowing. You see these titans, these giants going at it. And I just watched the Ultimate Warrior documentary on A&E.
I haven't caught any of the A&E ones yet. My grandmother was talking about the Randy Savage one. Tried to find it, but I'm having trouble finding the A&E documentaries.
Yeah, I think you can get them on iTunes, and you could probably download them on the fucking A&E's website. It's like aetv.com or something like that. Okay. I heard a lot of flack about the Macho Man episode.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see that for myself. But in watching the Warrior one, it took me back to that moment in time where, dude, Hogan versus Warrior was a huge fucking deal. Huge deal. Like, never before had two baby faces came together, two champions for the first time, two good guys, the two biggest good guys in the company clashing. It doesn't even compare to, like, Rock and Austin, because even though Austin was over with the fans, he wasn't really supposed to be. He was a heel, he blurred those fucking lines. And same thing with The Rock, I mean, there was a lot of gray areas with those two. But back then with Hogan and Warrior, you knew that you had two babies going against each other. And I just remember holding my fucking wrestling buddy. And I'm like, God damn it, like, Hogan's got to win. He's got to win. And when he lost the title, when he was essentially passing the torch to the Warrior, dude, I was so fucking butthurt. Oh, man. But that's
in
one
Canada,
of
all places.
Right. But that's one of those moments that, name superstars in the modern era that really provide you with those epic moments like that. They're really fucking few and far between, if any, to find.
It won't happen. I can't say it won't happen again, but it won't happen on a regular basis again, because back then the wrestlers were larger than life. They're not anymore. Everything's
exposed too, They're all showing their junk on fucking TikTok and whatnot.
Well, part of like, if, I don't know if we're going to get into expanding on what impact dirt sheets have had as they have become more and more part of fandom. Like, I think they're an integral part of modern day wrestling fandom. So it's really hard when somebody compares, like, wrestling from the 70s, 80s, 90s, every decade. It's really, really hard to compare that shit to now, because people, like, part of you being a fan is knowing every fucking thing about this wrestler's personal life, which I think it shouldn't be. I don't know. Like if you're a theater junkie, like you go to Broadway and shit, you don't know what, like, the person that's, like, I don't know, part of Les Miserables or Phantom of the Opera. Like, You don't know what, like the dude that's playing the Phantom. You don't know like how many wife, like if he's good to his wife or husband, if
What
he's
his
got
favorite
kids.
burger is?
Yeah, what his favorite kind of burger is. If he was abusive to somebody, like a lot of those people are prima donnas and terrible, and nobody gives a shit because they don't know. And now we know everything. And wrestling fans, it's actually part of why like wrestling Twitter sucks dick, because these people feel like they deserve to know, like they are entitled to know every little thing about every wrestler. Back then, man, they were all superheroes and, like you said, larger than life, and they didn't do 360 spins and shit. But when somebody punched somebody, you were like, oh my god.
Don't say that to B. Brian Blair.
Well, if you do look back, a lot of those guys did do pretty like I last week I watched a bunch of Bret Hart, like there's a YouTube video, like it was 7 minutes of just Bret Hart. It's called like Bret Hart being athletic, and he's doing these like flips and these like top rope things, but it's all controlled and it's all like everything is held back. Like, it was like his entire career he held back because there wasn't a reason to do that shit. It was all technique and technicality.
I think of a highly underrated wrestler when I think of what you just described. Somebody like Rick Martel jumps in my mind. He was a panther, move like a cat in the ring, buff and strong as anybody, knew how to tell a story in the ring. And just, I think what you were talking about there, Shret, I often use a combination of Ferdinand the Bull. Do you know that story? Ferdinand the flower-smelling bull?
Mm-mm.
And
they might have made a cartoon out of it. No, I don't know.
Yeah. He was this big, ferocious, matador-type bull, but away from the arena, he was very soft-hearted and liked to smell flowers by the tree and blah, 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 blah. And I always use that correlation with Nia Jax. I don't want to see Nia Jax doing smoky eye makeup tutorials. I want to see her presented like awesome freaking Kong.
Agreed.
And it reminds me of Ferdinand the Bull smelling flowers away from the arena. It's not what the fans, what the audience need to see or even know. So I'm totally on the same page as you in that regard. And I think of Nia Jax as a perfect example of, don't break kayfabe publicly.
Right. Even to this day, like I've said a million times, we know what wrestling is, but I still love it. We all still love wrestling. You don't need it to be something it's not. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertaining, just fucking have fun with it. Don't dumb it down in a sense to where it's at now with like WWE, where it's super childish. But it's so weird because if you go back to the golden era, Hogan's era, it's really very similar. But is it me being biased? And I'm asking myself and you guys this question because it's hard to understand. Is it me being biased because I was so touched? Watch out, Jerry Sandusky. By that era and by that persona that I just don't get it nowadays. Nowadays it seems like it's just way too childish. Is it because I'm grown up now? Because even when you watch that stuff back then, yeah, some of it seems hokey, but it's still really acceptable, in my opinion.
I'm going to throw something at you, then maybe this has something to do with something regarding what you were just questioning, and that's the pace of the action in the ring. We go back to these larger-than-life superstars, and let's be honest, the action in the ring was much slower, and in turn, in psychology and being able to tell a story and for the fans to ingest that story, no matter how smart you are, how dumb you are, if the storyline is going 100 miles an hour, you're missing 5, 6, 7 different things depending on how perceptive you are, right? Back in the days, let's look at the biggest match of all time, Andre versus Hogan. Probably one of the slowest matches ever wrestled. And it's because the storyline was able to be told.
Yeah, for
Nowadays, these smaller wrestlers are 150 miles an hour. There's no gap. There's no space for people to really go, ooh, and have it like saturate. They're on to the next 5, 6 different things before you can even process it.
Right. It's much like in music, fucking do the grindcore gig, and there's a lot of fast parts, but like on this new record we just put out, there's a lot of space in it to kind of give it that atmosphere, give it that room for people to feel and not just be dumb, not watch it and like, well, yeah, I like this. Perfect example is everything going on with AEW. I love AEW, but a lot of the times there is so much of that bam, 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 bam that you're like, what the fuck? You know, like that was awesome, the performance, but I wasn't like invested in it necessarily, you know? So I think you do need that space. And a lot of those guys did that. And Hogan was perfect at that, dude. Like say what you want about his rings, his style, his wrestling. The guy couldn't really wrestle. You know, he wasn't no Bret Hart. He wasn't no Daniel Bryan or Dean Malenko.
And he didn't need to.
He didn't need to. Exactly. And he utilized that psychology perfect. And even when he became heel in WCW, you notice that he kind of stepped up a little bit more of his wrestling, what he was doing more like leg locks and holds and arm bars and shit that you would never really see him do. Yeah, the back scratch, brother.
You have to watch his matches in Japan to see any of that type of wrestling from him.
Yeah, dude, he would tear it up with Muda in Japan, man. A bunch of different guys out there. Yeah. So kind of going, you know, jumping from the 80s, Hogan, to he go into the 90s now, you know, Hulkamania is dying out. It's become the same old thing. Fans are getting tired of, you know, the prayers, the vitamins, the fucking Jesus, all that stuff.
You sound like a fucking WWE DVD.
Yeah. They're fucking tired of it, man. And I myself, even though I was a Hogan fan, I as a kid, I would kind of like wonder why he was getting booed, but I still got it as a young fan. I'm like, man, it's kind of wore out its welcome. Something different needs to happen. And what does he do? Probably the biggest heel turn of all time. You know, I mean, Shawn Michaels turning on Marty Jannetty's up there for me too, but I don't think anybody saw that coming when he became Hollywood Hogan. And he's in recent interviews said, well, I told Vince, you know, when I went up against the Warrior, let me go heel, brother, let him win the belt, you know, and then he turns around and I crack him and all of a sudden I'm Hollywood Hogan. Who knows if that's true or what? And that's something else we're going to get here is Hogan's fluff in a little bit. But the man knew how to adapt. He took a chance with Eric Bischoff and co. and became probably one of the best heels of the 90s, in my opinion. I mean, he was old school heel. He was just he's pissing off grannies in the front. You know, he's doing the silliest, dumbest shit that like a bad guy would do, you know, like the cheating and all this.
In the camera lens, all that stuff. All that stuff are little layers of the nuance that add to the storyline, and that's what's missing today.
Yeah, man, totally. And people ate that shit up. Look what happened, and look what the NWO became. You know, like this. Essentially, that and ECW is what kicked off the Attitude Era. You know, I don't think
sucked me away from WWF at the time.
Oh yeah, me too.
I remember watching something like Steve Austin shoving a rubber hose up McMahon's ass in a hospital bed and hitting him with a fucking pea tray, and then changing the channel and seeing the Giant in an NWO shirt standing in the crowd. And I was like, this is more my fucking speed.
Yeah. It became more reality based. It was, and for a time when wrestling was getting more and more exposed, it seemed so real, because I'll never forget watching Nitro when Scott Hall first walked out. I was like, what the hell? Now, I was a WCW guy, so I mean, I watched them both as a kid. I remember the Diamond Stud, you know, and shit like that. But it was still, he was dude in the thick of being Razor Ramon, and then all of a sudden he's in WCW and he's doing the fucking hey yo, you know, like you don't know why I'm here. And that dude, that just felt real. And it's going to be hard to really ever get something like that back in pro wrestling, you know, when it just shook the entire industry up, because people are like, okay, are they really fucking, is Vince sending guys here? It was believable.
So question, would it have been as impactful as it was, done the way it was, or if he would have just come, rolled in the ring, did a bunch of finishers on somebody and left the ring, which shows you storyline is just as important as flippity dippity do, because he just came down and grabbed a mic, got in the face of Bischoff, like you just said, you don't know why I'm here. They didn't need to do nothing for 3 weeks. What was it, 3 weeks or 2 weeks before Nash showed up and power bombed him off the stage? Power bombed
like
Eric
2 or 3
Bischoff off the
weeks, yeah.
stage. So they didn't need to blow their load right off the hop. Build
Right.
it up with the storyline, get the fan to invest, because that's the remedy, that's the formula that garners investment in the fans. Yes, the Daniel Bryan moves are cool, but like, honestly, storyline wise, he's never had me. He's never had me psychology wise. Never. Yeah,
agree,
feel
man.
good story. Yes. Okay, momentum. I'm not denying any of that. But in terms of psychology, he never had me.
Hogan?
No, Daniel Bryan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A great wrestler, but lacking on the storyline psychology, right?
Mhm.
Well, I think I think everybody understands that wrestling back then was like 95% hype, you know? And then the actual pee break time for a lot of people was the actual wrestling. So the most hyped I usually got during a match, if it wasn't a finisher, that's why I get irritated nowadays when everybody kicks out of finishers. Like I think we need to go back to no kicking out of finishers, or if it happens, it's rare, not like 18 different finishers. Like John Moxley, when he does his move, I love that DDT, his version of the DDT. I like it, but it rarely finishes people. But what I was going to say was, you watch all this stuff, you watch all this hype, when these guys get to wrestling, you don't always need to watch it. You can go take a break, you can go eat chicken wings, you can relax. That's how it was back then. And now I don't know. Part of me thinks it's better and part of me thinks it's worse, that I think it's just as much hype, but the storytelling inside the ring during a match, there's a lot more shit going on. Now, I do disagree with both of you guys that I think the future, there will be some very cool storyline and very engaging storylines, but
not if they don't slow the pace down in the ring. It'll never happen unless they slow the pace down.
I do think a lot of shit needs to get slowed down so that it matters, even though it's amazing. Like when you watch the Lucha Brothers go against the Young Bucks, or Young Bucks specifically, let me go after the Young Bucks. And I'm a huge AEW fan, but like you watch their matches and they are fully aware, but that's their style and they refuse to change it. Like there'll be trolls for the fans, which is what the point I'm about to get to. So it's like a lot of Young Bucks stuff in ring storytelling. I don't like their in-ring storytelling. It's all moves, move, don't breathe, move.
7 super kicks.
And like no things that would kill people in real life. You can do 20 moves that will kill a human in real life, and people just go like shrug it off or don't fall or anything. But it's still entertaining. But what I wanted to say was I don't think WWE is teetering on the edge of mainstream. I don't think WWE is mainstream anymore as far as a mainstream entertainment product.
They don't have the audience. They do. They are definitely mainstream. They're this right here, man.
But I don't think a lot of. I don't think there's. I know, but I don't think there's a lot of kids that are super into it. I just don't. I don't think it's the same as it was when we were young.
So it's time to get rid of the PG.
Well,
they've garnered that next generation threat, and it's time to go a little bit more adult based for a while.
Right.
Maybe. But what I was going to say was the biggest wrestling fans now are the wrestling fans, and there's a lot of them that are hardcore wrestling fans.
I'm on a live show right now. My pizza's here.
Sit down.
Pizza.
Yeah.
But the biggest wrestling fans, the people that are spending money on wrestling, going to shows, are not families that are going to shows. They are people that are hardcore that probably have kids and they want to get their kids into it. But they're people like us, or people that go to like indie shows that are diehards. And those people are sort of shit fans when it comes to attention span and attention to storytelling. Like I think they're fucking up. I think they're fucking it up more than I'm blaming the fans more than I am the actual performers. You
raise an interesting point there, because storylines used to be 4 months to a year. Now, after so many years of so many pay-per-views every 30 days and pissing off the feud after 30 days, and then I think that did some damage as well. You need a longer storyline to invest.
Oh yeah, I think everything needs to be stretched out.
I think of the Warrior and Jake the Snake feud, when Jake the Snake was trying to get the Warrior to trust him, and it went on over months, and then he ends up in a freaking snake pit.
Yeah, that was awesome with that
I'm
Cobra.
a snake. You trust me. I'm a snake.
To quote your boy, Andre, where's the snake?
Yeah, I think you're gonna roll up your pant leg there and do a little something there.
But I think the new
No, you're not gonna get up and leave. I'm gonna watch you.
We got to do a Jake the Snake episode.
While we're on that, as a kid, that moment, Macho Man getting gnawed on by the snake, and the Mega Powers exploding, were the two most impactful memory moments I have from World Wrestling Entertainment. But Elizabeth coming back and getting Sherry out of the ring, that's just up there as much too. So
that was super cool too. Super cool. And the Mega Powers, I mean, that was something unbelievable when it happened. You know, we're talking about like huge rivals. Hogan and Savage were, throughout most of the 80s, and then to come together as a tag team, like the two biggest guys they had, and the name says everything, itself. The Mega Powers. These guys were fucking super duper over, and we got a tag team tandem, and then it just explodes because of Elizabeth. Macho Man's jealousy. There was a great storyline there.
Oh yeah.
He thought Hulk was fucking hitting on her and all this shit. Like it all goes back to like what we're talking about, like storylines back then. And that's why I think Hogan was so impactful, at least early on in the 90s and the 80s, was because of the storytelling that he was a part of. Now, granted, then you move into like the 2010s, after he came back to WWE, did the program with The Rock, which was awesome. And then everybody was itching for Hogan to come back. He had been gone for 8 years at that time. Everybody wanted the red and yellow Hulkamania back. And that's when the Hulk Still Rules campaign was out and all that shit. And dude, from like 2002, I think, for a good year and a half on and off, it was awesome to see him come back to these crowds, that it made it feel like it was the 80s again, like the crowds were exploding. And we're talking at this time, Hogan's like damn near at the end of his career, I mean, after he'd faced Rock and Brock Lesnar and Triple H and all those guys, but still had that power and the nostalgia, which is so important in pro wrestling. And they used him right. They gave the fans what they wanted. They put the strap on him one last time, and then, he fizzled out. And I think what was his last match with fucking Randy Orton or something like that. Then he goes to fucking TNA, and we all know this story. TNA was white hot, dude, like 2008, 2009, going into 2010, him and Bischoff come in. Hogan brings in a bunch of his buddies, and this is kind of where it goes into the parts that I don't like, the politicking. You hear a lot of it about the Hulkster, more so than really anybody. In WCW, it was using his creative control. Same thing in TNA, and he's denied allegations of that. Like, well, it wasn't my final decision, this, and that. But he was the guy that's like, hey, get rid of the 6-sided ring. There goes a huge part of TNA's identity.
And the fans were screaming, and he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is change. You want to change, you're getting change.
And when he says change, he's bringing in the Nasty Boys, who are just, dude, at that point in their career, they're fucking useless. Especially to the product that TNA is putting out. I mean, at this time, the guys like Kazarian and AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels and Samoa Joe, the future of pro wrestling. And we're bringing it back to these guys and a Scott Hall, which I love Scott Hall, but goddamn, man, he was a drunk at that fucking time. He had a huge gut. Sean Waltman was a fucking drug addict. Bringing him in to, get one last hurrah and create this nostalgia. Nash was already there, the Wolfpack thing. I get it. I get what they were trying to go.
And on top of that, bringing in fucking Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oh, God.
His fucking comments led to the greatest women's wrestler in that company leaving.
Yeah, that's right. And
tell that story. I don't know that story. Real quick, though.
He made a comment. You remember when Haiti had the really bad earthquake?
Yeah.
He made a comment about the
Awesome.
funds that were being raised for Haiti, and she's Haitian.
Okay.
And
okay.
she literally walked across the dressing room and choked him out.
Yeah.
He's a prick. And that would come back to fucking haunt Hogan as, you know, we get into the TNA thing's fucking done. He goes back to WWE for a hot second. And then all of a sudden he's banging Bubba's wife, being recorded unbeknownst to him, supposedly, brother. And then some other shit comes out. He's being recorded in his home on a phone conversation with his daughter, drops an N-bomb, which, hey, man, I'm not condoning, but everybody fucking does it. There's a lot of fucking people. I'm not saying that's okay, but I see a lot of hate on the man because of that. I think we can all three agree. Andre said before we went on air, everybody fucks up, man. And now I do get if some people can't believe that and they can't get past that, but that's why, you know, at least our country is in the shape it's in, is because people don't want to move forward. They want, you know, constant hate. The guy fucked
At the same time, though, are we really going to focus on if somebody hates something or somebody? I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
My life is so stupid.
My life is so full of my own BS. I don't give a fuck who hates somebody and who doesn't like somebody, and I'm not gonna taper around that. He said some wrong shit. I wouldn't have said it myself, but I don't give a fuck, honestly. I really don't.
Yeah, and he paid for it.
That's what he believes. That's what he believes. Who gives a fuck?
Right. And you had a lot of guys come out like Booker T that were like, hey, man, he did nothing but help my career and never known to be a racist or any of that shit. But it was at that moment. And then you know, the sex tape and all that, then you start hearing more and more stories about, and they were always there, but the politicking and all this shit. And then it for me, as such a huge super fan, I was like, damn it, dude. You watching this guy that like held wrestling on his back for damn near 3 decades. And it's destroyed. You know, here's my thing.
Never meet your heroes. It'll be a letdown.
Exactly. And here's my thing. It's so fucking weird still to this day when Hulk Hogan comes out now. In Sren, we were talking about 5 minutes ago about his return in 2002 and you know, Hulkamania is coming back and these huge crowd pops and everything. He's getting booed now.
That's because everything's being made racial.
Yes.
Why the fuck did they have to pair him up as a pirate? I get it, Buccaneers, but it's just all of this fucking pandering to all of these social sects is fucking ruining the world.
Yeah.
It's ruining comedy,
people.
It's ruining wrestling, it's ruining our fucking ability to interact with each other. It's fucking ruining everything.
Get it, boy, get it. I totally
How do you really feel?
Just like fuck. Whatever. I have my values. I know I'm a good person. I know I like everybody. If somebody else is a piece of shit and doesn't like people for no fucking reason, it's still no skin off my ass, and I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, you just don't associate with those people. And you know what? People are fine. It's their right to feel the way they feel about the situation with him. And, you know, over the years, I mean, this just makes it easier for people that have hated him over the years to hate him even more. But hey, man, to quote Rodney King, can't we all just get along? And to quote Tommy Chong, can't we all just share a bong? Oh, I don't know if Tommy said that. But my point is, it's so disheartening for a guy like that, an icon of the sport, to just be belittled within it. You know, it's hard, and they use him sparingly for things because they know he still has heat with the public, you know. And like I said, it is what it is. But for me as a fan, it kind of stings a bit because it's like, damn, Hulk, you know. Then on the flip side, you know, let's record everybody in the fucking country or in the entire world in their private conversations and see what kind of fucked up shit comes out. You know, everybody's got some fucking skeletons, man.
Every single person would be lambasted.
We'd all be canceled. Maybe the world would fucking explode and be a happier place. I don't know.
I'm a fuck up. You're a fuck up. We're all fuck ups. Whoever wins is still a fuck up.
Not me. I'm good. I'm better than you guys.
Fuck up.
I'm better than both of you.
He's above it all. He's above it all.
But and then hearing, you know, some of the stuff, like I watched the A&E biography on Hogan, and when he, you know, I have the Self-Destruction Ultimate Warrior, and everybody, dude, that was a fluff piece to fucking, you know, talk shit about Warrior and distance themselves from him. And Hogan's like, you know, he's kind of shitty. Everybody was shitty in that DVD to him. And then you see him come back and like, oh, well, it's fine. Everything's squashed. I love you, brother. That's before we were on air. I was like, does that really shit like that? And I've heard a lot more similar stuff about the man and the politicking and all that. Just makes him not the type of guy I want to be a super fan of anymore, because he's not genuine. He's me, myself, and I, brother. It's all about Hulkamania. You know, it's all about denying opportunities to people that may deserve it and giving them to his buddies. You know, like I said, you want to go back to TNA? There was no fucking reason that the Nasty Boys should have ever stepped foot in fucking TNA wrestling. Total nonstop action isn't two fat fucking drunkards, you know, sitting on the couch. Like, and whatever, you know, people might give me flack if they're fans. At this point, I don't give a fuck. The whole point is to kind of, you know, as we wind down, Hulk Hogan to me, and we'll go around real quick. To me is the man when it comes to professional wrestling still, even though I feel a little bit slighted about him. It's got this asterisk next to his name now that I really don't like, but it's a reality. So I must accept it. But you cannot deny what he did for professional wrestling, because every wrestler, every man and woman you love out there in various promotions owe a lot to really Vince and Hulk, who, dude, they gave us everything. They gave us the ability to have all these different promotions on all these different, you know, cable channels and now streaming platforms, and to have the fucking toys and video games. And
I want to disagree with you so fucking bad right now. Almost everything that came out of your mouth the last 30 seconds, I was just thinking in my mind, we lost the NWA, we lost the AWA, we lost WCCW, we lost this, we lost that. So how did they give us everything? They took everything away. Well, and gave us one thing, which was cartoon wrestling.
Yes. See, I mean, you're right about that.
I'm being the good cop, bad cop here.
I definitely smell the fucking pork product of some type.
In terms of an iconic perspective, I 100% agree with you. But at the same time, I think of all the damage that McMahon did, and it all started with Hogan exploding.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have exploded, would Dusty have been king? There's just so many variables. And I don't like the cartoon wrestling aspect. So I lost big time, and people that were fans like me lost big time with the rise of Hulkamania.
Yeah, I get that. Like I said, I was a huge fan of early like NWA stuff. I mean, I'm 38, so whatever I could see at the time before, you know, WCW came on the air, I loved all that shit. But I think, you know, history kind of repeats itself. And I think within the last several years, you do kind of see the rise, especially in, I mean, really worldwide, but in all these independents that are popping back up that are quality. It is almost like the return of the territories. And you see, it makes me so happy to say this, because I am on board with your opinion. Vince kind of get his fucking up and comings, you know, he bought everything. Like you said, he destroyed everything. He took all the talent away. He ended up buying WCW, albeit that's not necessarily his fault. You know, they were fucking shooting themselves in the foot, you know, and ECW, I don't know if they could have survived, you know, unless Vince really pumped some fucking more money than he already was. But you see it now kind of coming full circle. The viewership has dropped. You know, the product it's not great at all by any means. NXT is like the best shit they got. But with MLW, AEW, all these awesome independents, you know, up where you're at in Canada, in the USA, and everywhere, it's kind of like the return of the territories. And it's like this story of vengeance, man. I love it, because I knew one day something would happen. When they bought WCW, like in 2001, when everything folded and Vince was on WCW television, it was a fucking nightmarish day, because he monopolized the industry. That was it. That was the final straw. You know, he had already taken, you know, the NWA and AWA and WCCW, which I had the feeling of getting dumped.
That's how I felt that day. That last Nitro, I had the same feeling as getting dumped.
Yeah. It was, dude, it was, I had
it was a pit. It was a
frog
pit.
in my throat, man. It was weird. And it's a day I'll never forget, you know, because I at least thought, okay, well, maybe we'll get a different brand, you know, of WCW. Now they're going to own it. Maybe they'll turn it around. And it was like, no, you know, they weren't going to do that because they didn't have Goldberg or Sting. Hogan. They had all the fucking lower mid.
In 1 week, they turned the fucking WCW logo into a fucking Count Chocula logo.
But Count Chocula is delicious.
It was from the fucking start, and that's why this family has done more damage. Yes, there was a high up for 15 years, but outside of that 15-year increase, they've destroyed the business. I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Corbeil.
My take on that shit is, I think at the time that Hogan and WWF blew up and became cartoon wrestling, you know, when I was young and I watched it and I got into it, yeah, the old school.
How old are you?
I'm 43. I just turned 43. But I was in the heyday of Saturday morning cartoons with a little bit of Saturday morning wrestling. That was my wrestling. I didn't watch pay-per-views. I didn't watch WrestleManias. I watched what that shit was that was free on Saturdays. That was my whole experience with wrestling, and I fucking loved it. But I was also 8 years old, 9 years old, whatever. But I think they did kill the old school style. But what's weird is I think given the social media overtaking the world and the adjustment of what's acceptable in society as far as like sexism, racism, all these other things, and like the exposure, the dirt sheets, to me, social media leveled up dirt sheets. Now everybody knows
everybody is Dave Meltzer.
We know what kind of shaving cream that these fucking wrestlers use. Like we know everything. But
the heels.
What I think, it was a bad thing because he killed all those territories. But I don't think any of that shit would have survived the mid 2000s if WWE whatever wasn't so dominant. I don't think this new life that has been given to these indie promotions and like you want old school wrestling, New Japan is old school wrestling mixed with the perfect blend of flippy shit. But I don't think wrestling would have survived that old. It would have died before your regular neighborhood carnivals, like carnies. You know, everybody's got festivals in their neighborhoods. You know, every summer you get 3 or 4. You know, Pumpkin Fest, Cucumber Fest,
Jeff Jarrett
Fest.
The
Garlic Festival, shit like that. Like regular, like if WWE didn't exist, wrestling would have died. I actually think it would have died in before the 2000s. I do.
Agree. I think a lot of those guys like Vern Gagne had the idea to move forward, but he didn't want to. He's kind of stubborn in his own way, and he had everybody. If you want to talk about who Vince plucked the most from, AWA was fucking raped and pillaged, dude. I mean, every huge superstar from the 80s is pretty much from fucking Vern Gagne's territory, you know?
Yeah, Georgia, Vern Gagne's territory.
Yep.
Mid-Atlantic.
But I don't think a lot of these, they didn't have dude, here's my thing. Vince was in the media epicenter, New York.
Well, yeah, he had a head start from the start.
From
the moment his dad said, fuck it, we're walking away from the table of the National Wrestling Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And you factor in Jim Barnett leaving Georgia. Those were the two big swayers in the wrestling world at the time. Because Jim Barnett owned, what was it, a third? Him, Jerry Briscoe, and Anderson. Ole Anderson were the owners. And Ole Anderson kind of reprimanded him for taking money out. And he had always put money in Barnett, but he needed money and took money that he had already put in back out. And Ole Anderson tried to start shit, and that's where the falling happened out. And he went and sold his shares to Vince McMahon, and that's when Vince McMahon showed up in Georgia Championship Wrestling in the infamous Black Friday or Saturday? Black Friday? Black
It was on
Saturday?
Turner Television. It was fucking crazy, man.
So what do you guys, Andre, how do you think it would have panned out if, like, let's say Vince was like, you know what, I don't really even like wrestling, man, and this Hulkster guy, he smells.
He's got big tits. I mean,
his tits are too.
Oh God, I like to put my head between him and flapping those bloomers.
He's not my beefcake.
You've got to ask yourself with the mega marketing campaign that was Hulkamania. You look at Hulk Hogan balding, very young. You got to ask yourself, could anybody with that machine behind it caught on the way Hulk Hogan did? Some people say that Dan Spivey, when he was young, had the long blonde hair. He had the long blonde hair. He very much looked like what Hulk Hogan became, just taller. And it was Hogan that got him booted out of the WWE at the time because they were too similar.
Politics, brother.
It goes back to the politics. And Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon, with the personality types that they are, will screw you, brother, whatever suits me best at the time.
Rip them.
It probably has something to do with Dookie. What's that smell?
Dookie. It's no.
I think that's why they were a match made in heaven for each other, Vince and Hogan, because they were, one, master chess players, two, they were cunning, and three, they both wanted to take over the wrestling world.
Yeah, and it was the perfect storm, and a lot of successful things. If you want to go back to like music, when Nirvana broke big, it was the time. A lot of that shit is timing, and Hogan and McMahon got together at the perfect time. It was the perfect storm, and we know what happened afterwards. To kind of wrap it up as far as the Hulkster, we'll go around real quick. I know you kind of hinted at your favorite moment with the Hulkster, and I know you're not necessarily a big fan, Andre, but what do you think? I mean, obviously his most iconic match has got to be the Hogan Andre thing, right?
That's the general consensus, but that's not really my opinion.
What is your opinion on Hogan, and what do you think? I mean, obviously his lasting impact will be on the business.
Like, what's my biggest Hogan moment that I appreciated? Was Honky Tonk Man and the Hart Foundation, Honky Tonk Man shoving down Elizabeth, her strap breaking, her going to the back and dragging him out, them bumping backs, and then the handshake. That was probably the greatest Hogan moment for me. Notice there's a pattern here. Everything is kind of loosely related to the Macho Man. That was my hero growing up.
Somebody saying my name, dig it.
That was my hero growing up, and I was all about the madness, and I hated Hulkamania. So that's where a lot of my disdain for Hogan stems from, is the fact that my favorite was the other guy.
Yeah, and a lot of people growing up too. I mean, you were either one or the other. A lot of people, as many Hulkamaniacs as there were, were just as many maniacs, whatever you would call them.
I was both.
And in WCW, it was when Hogan took out the paint and sprayed the yellow line behind down the back of Hulk Hogan. So, and what was the thing I hated? What was the thing I hated the most about Hogan? The Hulk
mustache.
The Hulk
up. Oh, I love the Hulk up.
It was the
Hulk
most
was great.
ridiculous fucking thing in the history of the world.
When I do want to say, when people say, "Oh, hey, back then wrestling was way more believable," hey, Hulk up is a good example of why it wasn't. But I fucking loved it.
Andre's fucking hulking up right now. He's so large.
I lost my joint.
Get out of control.
Sorry, Sret. Continue on.
That's it. I was a fan of both. I don't have a particular like Hogan moment. I liked him as a person. Like, obviously the Andre the Giant body slam was awesome. I know it's dumb, but I fell for the hype of the No Holds Barred movie. Even though
That was a good movie.
no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Even though I would have
It's one of
watched
those.
it,
So it's like The Room. It's so bad, it's good.
he seemed like he was like,
Campiness can be good.
yeah, he seemed like he was straight up on cocaine the entire time. Like all these scenes
Might have been. It was the 80s, brother.
True.
Give me down a rail.
I liked that period of like Hulkamania, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. I'm a real American. Like
The Hero.
I love that theme song. The Hero, yeah, because I was a huge Superman guy and he was like Superman. But I equally fucking Macho Man was right there for me. I loved Ultimate Warrior's entrance and I liked his promos, but I wasn't as big of a fan of Warrior. I just that's I don't have a particular moment, but as far as my favorite wrestling moment, period, Hogan's heel turn in the NWO that's my favorite fucking wrestling moment. That was just the Superman turned into the fucking Joker. Like
my only critique of that is I wish Heenan wouldn't have said, "But whose side is he on? Whose side?" That kind of like fucking tipped me off a little too soon. It kind of spoiled it a bit. It's still iconic.
Yeah.
So I can't say it spoiled it, but it just, if there's any shade of a critique, it was Heenan going, "But whose side is he on?" I just like, oh my God.
Hey, watch it now. Don't be talking too much shit about the brain. I love the brain around these parts.
Me too. But I did want to address one thing when it comes to Hogan, like the politics, the backdoor politics stuff that I don't really know much about, that we learn about, that you hear his side of the story and then you hear other people's side of the story. Man, odds are what he says is bullshit. Odds are what he says, he's on that hype train. But I don't know. In that particular time, he was the biggest draw. So with that comes certain power. And as long as you're not being a dick, which I guess he was half the time, he also helped. There's just as many wrestlers that said that he fucked them. There's just as many wrestlers that say that he helped them out. Like even
assholes develop soft spots there, Shret.
Right. So so as a man with faults, good and bad, I'm still on his side. Now, as far as his controversy, his modern controversy, why he gets booed now, I think he's a very good example of somebody in modern days, in the 2020s, how there is a lack of certain people, large groups of people have zero forgiveness in their heart. He didn't kill anybody. He used the word. I don't use that word. I don't associate with people that use that word. None of us do. It's bad. I wish it would be eliminated from society and we could talk about who could use it, who can't, all that shit. I don't care. But he got caught using it. First of all, he did use it. He fucking used it. And then he got caught using it. But then, in my opinion, he did everything publicly and in theory privately that should allow for forgiveness. If somebody gets caught using a word, it's my opinion that you should be able to be forgiven. If the black
people
community
aren't God-fearing anymore.
If the black community, if the African American community doesn't give a shit and forgives him, then what line in the sand have you drawn that you're gonna boo the guy? Like Booker T is not pissed, and Booker T is not the end all be all.
Some aren't.
Yes, but you know what? Bottom line, with all of that stuff, I'm still a huge fan. I like him as a man. He reminds me of like an uncle that says awful shit, but I still love my uncles. But Andre, I was gonna say I do agree with you. And I forgot my fucking.
You
fuck
idiot.
It, whatever.
Stevie Ray does a great defense video of Hogan.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I remember. But bottom line is, who really gives a shit? I don't give a shit. I wish Hogan would be forgiven and be cool and be like an icon again. But he's also a 70-something-year-old man. He's done with wrestling. That's done. And I don't give a shit if people don't like him. That's fine. You have your, like, Andre, I'm not going to not like you because you don't like him. Same with JR. JR doesn't fucking like Hogan. Shout out to JR. That's totally fine, dude.
Yeah.
Andre, 100%. You were going to say?
I totally forgot what I was going to say.
It's a running theme here.
Yeah. When I interviewed Jimmy Jacobs, he told me that a long time ago when he was really having a lot of trouble, with impatience and being angry and destructive and whatnot. He was taught that you drop a hula hoop through the space of your body, like from the top of your body down to your feet, and whatever's outside of that hula hoop, you have zero control, and there's no point in fretting over it or letting it make you distraught or whatever. As long as you control what's inside that hula hoop correctly, and you have the values inside that hula hoop that you have, that's all that fucking matters. All these people lambasting and throwing tomatoes in the town square and being angry are people that are unhappy with their situation in their life, and they're projecting so that they can feel a little bit better about themselves.
Damn, fucking psychological motherfucker over here. But I totally agree. Hey, let's wrap this fucking thing up, man. Andre, let everybody know where they can find WrestlingWithWrestling.com's content and where you guys are at.
All right, brother. I see the lust in your eyes. All of you viewers. Now, if you think I'm a nut job, and if you like that kind of thing, you can subscribe to my channel on YouTube, Andre Corbeil, founder of WrestlingWithWrestling.com. It's probably the worst promo blog I've ever done. So I'll stop that and I'll go normal. You can follow me on Facebook at Andre Corbeil. You can also subscribe to my other channel, which is a horticulture channel called Weed and Wrestling, women's wrestling matches, superstar interviews, and grow videos. Always, you can follow me at Wrestling with Wrestling on YouTube as well. Those are the two channels. Twitter don't want me because I speak my mind, and I stopped speaking my mind on Facebook because they're tyrannical too. It just, I don't know.
Fuck it. It's all good. And everybody watching right now and listening on any podcasting platform, you can also check us out on WrestlingWithWrestling.com and Andre's YouTube channel. So, Andre, it's always a pleasure, brother. Everybody watching and listening right now, hit the like and subscribe button, ring that motherfucking notification bell, and you'll get to find out whenever we release hot new shit like this fucking cut right here, and have a good time with us because we're some cool motherfuckers, and there's a lot of people that ain't. And hey, is Hulkamania for life?
I don't know, so. But I see the lust in your eyes, Stretton. I see the lust in your eyes.
Lust and good time. For life. Hey, motherfuckers. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow us. Until next time, we love you all. Wet 'em up. Wet 'em up. Wet 'em up.
You gonna do sex to me?
Did you like that video? If so, be sure to hit like and subscribe and check out more killer content from your boys at Juice Pro Wrestling. Whoa, yeah!